I'm Carmella from Carmella's Curries, and I've got a small business I run from home, selling 2 curries, an Southern Indian Kasundi curry paste, a Malaysian curry powder, and then I expanded and now I do a Barossa style chutney and a feisty Barossa sauce, and I sell them at our local farmers market and have been for 13 years. And love selling at markets because you deal direct with your customers and you get that instant feedback from everybody. And people come and tell you how fabulous your products are. They come and tell you what dish they cooked last night or what dish they're going to cook that night with it. You meet all sorts of people from literally all over the world. We forge really strong friendships with each other. We definitely have a really strong networking system in the Barossa, where if anyone needs anything, somebody knows where to get it or help them out in some way. My real name is Carmel, and I had a few friends that used to call me Carmella just for fun, and when I tried to come up with a name for my business, I thought Carmel's Curries, that doesn't sound very exciting, so I went, oh, why don't I just go back to Carmella, because Carmella goes up at the end, Carmel goes down. So yeah, it's quite interesting because I've got sort of what you'd call an Italian name, but I'm really Irish Catholic background and I make Indian curries. So I'm very eclectic. The reason I sort of got into it was because when the kids were little I had to find ways to make money from home. So I just found all sorts of different things to do. But when we bought our property down at Carmel, I started doing my first market down there, making my felt hats and my vegetarian spring rolls. That's what I had. And then someone gave me the recipe for my Indian Kasundi curry paste, and I thought, oh, I'll just make one batch and see how it goes. And I sold out the first day and went, whoa, people like curry. And I haven't stopped making it since. So yeah, when I got back to the Barossa, it was just natural to hook up with the Barossa Farmers Market. But I started there with one product, just the Kasundi. 13 years ago, that's all I had at my stall was 2 different sized jars of Kasundi. And then I slowly built up a range all over time because it all takes time, you know, to develop recipes and then market it, get it into other stores, mainly the local foodlands and lots of little shops in the Barossa, like the butchers and cafes. I was actually born up in the Clare Valley. My grandfather grew currants, so I've still got a great history, even though I'm not from the Barossa. He grew dried currants for the dried fruit industry, but then the sort of bottom fell out of that market, and my grandmother started up a cafe in Clare Main Street and ran that for years. Come from a long line of good cooks. My grandmother was a very staunch Catholic. There's a big, huge Catholic church in Clare. So she used to feed all the priests and the nuns and not get paid for it. I worked for a number of years and then I got a real hankering to go out and live in the hills. I just loved it out there, and started out there in a little caravan, one of those little round Mickey Mouse caravans, and nearly froze to death for a winter or two. And then my partner then and I decided to rebuild this old cow shed and then turn that tiny little hut into a bedroom and a kitchen. That was it. So we had a bedroom, a kitchen, a little shed and a caravan and the hoist up shower and no electricity. But we loved it because, well, it was the lifestyle of just living on the land, and we had, free firewood and wood stove, and it was all pretty good. It was cheap to live too because we didn't have water bills, we didn't have electricity bills. We weren't paying rates, we weren't paying off a mortgage. We used to boil up the water on the stove for our shower and hoist it up and have showers outside for 6 years. We did that. Years, no fridge. I really miss living out on acres, and I certainly could easily go back to living without mains power, because it's not that hard. It just really isn't that hard. I'm a big believer in providence, in that somehow providence provides. You don't know really how providence works, you can't take it for granted, but somehow there's an energy or a force that somehow looks after you through life and gets you through somehow.